Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 7th, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. stocks bounce off of their lows. Now, there's no major economic event scheduled for today, but tomorrow we do have U.S. elections, midterms. That's a big event, so you do want to know what's coming out. Now, looking at the Forex symbols, the euro gains versus the dollar taking an about face. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both rally back, not to their highs, but do get a little bit of a bounce there. Now, looking at commodities, gold and oil as well, momentum on the upside. Oil making new highs at $92 a barrel. Now looking at the stocks bounced off their lows. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, pretty much unchanged. So we're going to take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at the Euro USD, and you can see beautifully it rallied back nicely from 97 to 99 as that comeback has happening right after we got that NFP last Friday. So it does look like the dollar is getting weaker versus the euro. Now it's at the top of the range, and remember, we're still in a volatile kind of environment right now as the markets are reeling from what is happening across the globe. Now looking at the GBP USD, also a little bit of a bounce, nothing really much to write home about, but did get a little bit of a bounce. If you look at the CAD, did not get a bounce, okay, but it did get a little bit of strengthening versus the US dollar as it's at the bottom of that range. So lots of things happening here, okay? So CAD also getting stronger because oil's getting stronger and the momentum there is happening as well. So this real support level at 134 is really very important here. So keep an eye on this as well. Now jumping into commodities, looking at gold, look at that. We went orbital last week from 1620 to 1677. Just amazing move on the upside. Now it's a little bit of a difficult move to catch, but we did dip right after we hit resistance at 1677-ish levels. So you can see that right there. And looking at crude oil, we hit $92 a barrel, but making a double top here. Okay, so it does look like it's struggling, breaking above that $93 threshold. Now jumping into the US markets, we're seeing a little bit of a momentum on the upside. Now it's a little bit down right now, but you do see some momentum on the upside as it was really reluctant to break lower and keeping quite buoyant, I might add, from breaking lower as well. So keep that in mind as this is still kind of digesting itself in the markets. Now looking at the NASDAQ, not as resilient, did bounce, but not as resilient. Okay, that's definitely less resilience here. And if we look at the individual stocks, we could see that Apple got a bounce from its lows. Microsoft got a bounce off of its lows, okay? Amazon got a bounce off of its lows. Cisco got a bounce, okay, as well, not from its lows. Intel got a bounce as well, not from its lows. Google got a bounce off of its lows. So this is like a little bit of a breather before we get to the midterms, and we'll see what happens next week as things, kind of move into the balance of November and to see how that's going to unfold. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we're pretty much unchanged week to week. I mean, we're rallying a little bit between 20,000 and 21,000. We're right now equidistant pretty much at support level there. As you can see, we're on the 30-day moving average. It's got to stay resilient. I mean, we're still ranging trading in a range, and it's not as a tight range as it used to be, but there's no character to it, and there's no real follow through in it as well, so it's a little bit difficult to catch. Now looking at the natural gas, this is actually very important. I didn't cover this in the commodities. A big gap up this morning from 651 to 692. That's a decent gap. Isn't going to fill the gap. Going to keep an eye on this as well as this unfolds this week. So again, tomorrow's midterms, major economic, it's a major political event tomorrow, but we'll have some economic ramifications to it as well. So just keep that in mind. We may see ourselves quite choppy throughout the day. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.